Good afternoon, everybody. It is good to be back with you once again for the Coaching Corner with Kirk. This is every single Wednesday at noon in the Central Time Zone, which is the Lord's Time Zone. We are excited to get things going today. I was planning on streaming to Instagram, but it looks like that had a problem starting there, which is okay. Two of you guys are on the live with us today. Excited to have you. It is, Wednesday, July 24, and it is 12:04 in the Central Time Zone. I see my moderator, Ms. Florence Donald, is already in the chat doing her thing. I love it. She's giving some examples there of how questions should look. I'm putting that up on screen. Put another one up on screen. Hello. Welcome to the Coaching Corner. Thank you guys so much for coming through and hanging out. Now, let me say this. For some reason, my teleprompter has decided to take a nap. I don't know, but the camera's working, which is the most important part. Let me say this as we get ready to get started. One of the things that is absolutely critical in all areas of life, but especially in content creation, is making sure you don't have a question mark next to the value that you know you're providing. The value that you know you're providing. No question marks next to the value you know you provide. Or maybe I should say the value that you provide, because if you know you provide it, there shouldn't be a question mark. There should be no question mark next to that. And let me expound on that just a little bit. It doesn't matter what area you're in. If you could be how-to, you could be trends, you could be entertainment, you could be reaction, right? So, you have people who watch different shows and they react to them. You could be, in the faith-based space, you could be motivational. You could be in the finance space, right? You could literally be an educator on these internet streets. The value that you provide should come from the fact that you have experienced it. The fact that this is something that is critical to you. So one of the things I always do, I always have people walk through is I have them go back and review. If you were here with us yesterday for the morning motivation, you know that that's where we landed. We landed on this whole concept of review. One of the things that I found that when I review my videos is that I am enjoying the video myself. You gotta have to get over a couple of hurdles. You got to get over. One of the hurdles is the fact that you're watching your own video. And so for a lot of people, that's kind of like, it's counterintuitive. I don't know if I want to watch my own video. But once you get over that hurdle and you're able to review, now you're watching it for the sake of review, but as I have been watching my videos to review them, I am enjoying them. I'm saying, that was a good point. In fact, there are some things that I've answered in live streams, in live videos, because a question came up that I was not necessarily prepared for, but because the question came, it forced me into an analytical mode, and my response to the question is something that I may not have actually put it together that way before. So my practice of reviewing not only allows me to innovate and to fine tune and to tweak, but it also allows me to see content in what I was providing. So the way that I answered the question, I may say to myself, that was really good. I've never answered a question like that before. Let me write that down. Or I might say to myself, maybe I could have answered that slightly differently. Now, the person walked away with the answer, but maybe I could have answered that this way. Maybe I could have used this story. Maybe I could have used this analogy. You should be able to enjoy your content yourself because your content comes from your own lived experiences. And because your content comes from your own lived experiences, your content has value. It's unequivocal. It's non-negotiable. There's value there because you've placed yourself in the content. Doesn't matter what kind of content it is. Because you've placed yourself in the content, there's value in the content. Now, I I'm going to be walking through. I talked to my Workers Warehouse members. I talked to them about the things that we have planned for the fall: August, September, November, December. We've got August, September, October, November, December. I was like, wait a minute, this should be 5 there. We've got 5 guests lined up that will be coming into the Workers Warehouse to do kind of a mini masterclass series. I'm excited about bringing them all in, 5 of them. But in addition to those 5 that we're going to have in the Workers Warehouse, I'm going to be doing a series on the channel on essentially all of the things you need to know to either start your channel, start your live show, start your content. In fact, that might actually be it. Start your show, start your channel, start your content. That actually might be the new playlist on the channel. And what we're going to do is walk you through the different elements, walk you through the different things that you're going to need to think about, walk you through the questions that you might want to answer. But also, we're going to give you practical tips, tricks, best practices, hands-on how-to videos that are going to show you, if you want to use this platform, this is how you go live. This is how you create content. These are some options for you to be able to get yourself across the line. If you want to use this platform, these are some of the things that you might want to consider. How do these platforms compare? This is the space where we want to make sure you have all of the things. And then lastly, I want to share this. I've had a number of faith-based clients hit me up over the last couple of weeks, and they're like, man, what do you have specifically for faith-based? Now, if you've been following me any at all, you probably know that I'm not a big fan of having a separate thing just for a particular industry or a particular vertical, because I believe that content creation is the overarching principle of practice. This is the overarching thing that we're all doing. Now, you may use content for your faith, but it's still content and you still got to follow the rules. And so, but somehow, I don't know why. You guys help me out in the chat. Let me know. Y'all are faith-based folks. I know some of you are believers. Why are we like this? Why do we feel that there needs to be something specific, like if I have a studio consultation on my booking page, what I have experienced is that my faith-based folks won't book it because it doesn't say church studio consultation. Does that, you see my confusion? Like, so the person says to me, what do you have? I went to your work with us page, right? kirkarnewton.live/support. I went to your work with us page and I saw all this stuff on there, and I'm thinking to myself, well, he doesn't necessarily have anything for churches. I'm just kind of like, what? Why? What's different? Okay, do you need any graphics done? Do you need graphics for your live stream? Do you need what's different from what I am putting out that you guys would need? Help me understand that one, fam. Like, this is Kirk's question today. I mean, in the coaching corner, sometimes the coach has to have a question. And my question today is, why is that a thing? Why do houses of faith and worship, how people or believers, why do we feel like we gotta sprinkle some Jesus on it in order for it to be for us? I cannot receive it because it is not specifically for churches. Monty Weaver's in the live. He says, I can so relate. This is the question. Okay, Equip Institute saying ditto. This is the question. Darius O'Kane says, I've been AWOL for a while. You have been, but we appreciate you coming through and hanging out with us today. Ravens Talk with Yolanda says, good afternoon. So excited to have you here with us. Tommy Stiggs Social Club says, good afternoon from North Jersey. North Jersey in the house. What's going on, sir? Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out. Michael Flemings is here. Salute. Thank you so much for being with us today. I didn't even put my hat on. I just realized I'm just rocking the normal haircut. Anyway, Monty says, I can so relate. Equip Institute says ditto. Ravens Talk says, Yolanda says, that's good. Wow, that's good. This is the question that I want to ask. I some of you know, and some of you don't. I recently went to New Zealand, and I was there speaking at a digital Digital Discipleship Conference, as we call it, DDC 2024, Digital Discipleship Conference. And I was talking to them about business best practices for content creation for people of faith. And they were like, oh, okay, so, so we should be making Christian content as content creators. I'm like, no. Can I, is that okay? Am I going to get canceled? No. Can I just say this right quick? I don't care what vertical you are. Like, okay. So I have a finance person because I'm trying to make this generic because I don't want you to think, okay, you're just talking to faith-based folks. No, I've got a finance person and they're like, okay, so I'm a financial content creator. I'm like, no, you're a content creator who happens to talk about finance. Flip it around. You are a content creator who happens to talk about faith. Maybe you talk about faith. Maybe you talk about finance. Maybe you don't. Okay? Here's the clincher. You can be a content creator. Oh boy, I'm going to get myself in trouble, but you can be a content creator that creates content and be a person of faith. And your content isn't necessarily faith-based content. You can create content. you can create content that has nothing to do with finance and be a finance professional. You can be literally in the stock market. You can be an investor, but you can create content that has nothing to do with that and still be that. Is that okay? You bring your full self to your content. You bring your full self to wherever you are. My dad says, wherever you go, you always show up. Wherever you go, you bring yourself with you. and so do you need to term it something for it to be that thing? Like so the issue with Christian content, with Christian content creators who create Christian content is who's looking for Christian content? Who's looking for it? And listen, I want to be clear. Chosen has shown us that there are many people looking for Christian content. All right? Dave's shown us this. Many people looking for Christian content. There's many. But my challenge to folks is that all you are? Is that everything? Is that your entire person? I got a really cool young guy that I'm working with. He is into model trains. He loves model trains. He also is a believer, still kind of working that out. He's about 15, 16, but he loves model trains. He loves model trains, and he fell into the trap of making Christian content. So his Instagram and TikTok are all, Bible verses and all this other stuff. Great content, but it doesn't give anybody any window into who he is. So I challenged him to create one video, just one, where he talked about his model trains. Now, he hit me back up and was like, I couldn't make one because it was going to be, 45 minutes. So I decided to do a brief series on the channel, on my socials, to kind of talk about model trains. And I absolutely loved it. You should have heard this guy. He's like talking at 50 miles an hour. He's completely in his bag. He in his zone. He's you can do this. And I'm like, I hope that you captured all of this in the video. He's like, yeah, I feel like I was talking a little fast. Those videos went mini viral. I like to say viral for you, right? Your own definition of viral is when your video gets 10x more views than it normally does. So if you only get like 2 views on a video and you somehow get 200, you just went mini viral. Okay? If everything is here and you have one that's way up here, that's your version of viral. So his videos went viral for him. And he was blown away. And as he continued to put out more videos about his passion, his love for model trains, other model train enthusiasts began to form around this community. And guess what? They wanted to know about his faith. Now, I'm saying that to free somebody up to understand that content is best done when you share of yourself. it doesn't necessarily have to be from a faith-based perspective. I've seen it work in this same way in various. I'll give you another example. Got a holistic health guy that I'm working with. He wants to tell people how to live holistically healthy, get off the pills, reverse some of those lifestyle diseases, hypertension, diabetes, you name it. He wants to help people go through those things. What does he do? He begins to put out content about his weight loss journey. He's doing some intermittent fasting. He's doing some workouts and some exercises. He's walking people through his own journey. Guess what people want to know? How are you doing it? And now he's gotten a whole platform where he can share this holistic health, approach that he has developed. But he was out there just churning away, putting out holistic health videos. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And they can only know how much you care if they know who you are at your core, inside. If they know your idiosyncrasies, your quibbles, your quirks, the fact that you have a collection of every single Seinfeld episode that ever was produced, and you have the board game, and you have the Seen It, and I'm talking about myself. Like when somebody finds that out about me, there's something that connects and clicks with. It's like, oh, you're a Seinfeld guy. I'm a live stream coach, but I love Seinfeld. I share that in my content because I want people to know I'm a real person. It's not just a bot up here just saying, do this, do this, do this, be successful with your live streams. No. No. You are a whole person. Bring the whole person to your content. And there are going to be things that are outliers. It's going to be like, I don't really even know how to bring that in. Like, my family and I love American Ninja Warrior. How do I bring that in? I bring it in through morning motivation. All right. I bring it in through morning motivation because what do people need in their morning motivation? They need to understand how to get over obstacles. What is American Ninja Warrior but an obstacle course? And I talk about my experiences on the obstacle course as I'm trying to motivate people to get over the obstacles that they are facing in life. If you take the time to think it through, you can bring every aspect of who you are into the content that you're creating. That's why there's endless amounts of content that you can create. That's why. Because I don't care how long you've lived. It could be 10 years. It could be 22 years. You could have lived 87 years. You have a story. You have experiences you can draw from that only you can draw from, because your story is like a fingerprint. Your story is a one-of-a-kind, original, limited edition. God broke the mold when he made you. There's no other person that has your fingerprint. There's no other person that has your story. Even if you compare two siblings who grew up in the same house, live in the same city, their stories are going to be drastically different because everybody is unique. Bring your story to your content. Oh, I'm in a space that's saturated. There's so many people that's doing this. There's so many people that's doing this. There's so many people doing it with your story that can bring your experiences to bear. No, the answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is no. And because the answer is no, there's space for you. There's somebody who needs to hear it the way that you're going to say it. There's somebody who needs to understand and recognize the analogies from your stories that is going to drive home that point. It's going to finally click for them when you say it. It's going to be meaningful for them when you say it. There's a whole group that's waiting. If I never started creating content, there's 3 graphic designers and 2 video editors who would not have a job. Maybe they would have a job with somebody else. But are you seeing my point? We put these barriers in place from, oh, I'm not good on camera. Oh, I freeze up, I clam up. Oh, I don't really have anything to say. I don't know if I have any value. That's where I started at. There's no question mark next to the value you have to provide because you are an original, one of a kind, limited edition. There is no one else like you. Not even one. And if you plug into that reality, you recognize that you have a sacred job. Oh boy. You have a sacred job to fulfill. A sacred job to fulfill. Okay. I'm supposed to be taking your questions, but I kind of went off onto a little rant because we are content creators. Not a finance content creator. I'm not a live stream content creator. I'm a content creator. I'm a content creator that creates content on a particular subject as it relates to my own lived experience. That defines everybody. There's not a person. There's not one person that does not define. Oh man, we getting super chats. I love it. 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 Content and bringing some personal vibes to it is great. It works for me. Great platform you have here. Come on, Tommy Stiggs Social Club. Thank you for the. Let me drop a bomb. Thank you. It says morning motivation is key. That is my show. I just start off every day having a coffee with my morning YouTube crew. Come on. I love that. This is, I don't miss it. Don't miss it. Yeah. How many people need to drive a car? How many people need to go from point A to point B? What if I told you that live streaming and content, it's like having a driver's license. So if you're saying you don't need to get from point A to point B, then maybe this is not for you. Maybe it's not. But I challenge you to recognize that there is significance and value in your story that no one else can bring, that no one else can provide. It is yours and yours alone to share. And in that instance, hold up, put it up on the screen already. You have a sacred job. I said sacred job to fulfill. You have a sacred job to fulfill. You have a sacred job to fulfill. Oh, many thanks for speaking on this important topic. It's needed and helpful. Thank you. You
smart.
Thank you.
Very smart. We the best.
Oh my word. These super chats, I so appreciate them. I so appreciate them. Oh, here we go. Tommy Sig says, I'm learning and my YouTube crew loves that I am taking them along on the journey. We have learned that imperfection is perfection. Here's what I want to say about that last line, Tommy. Imperfection is life. Imperfection is life. Show me perfection on earth. Show it to me. Two-party system. Show me perfection. Democracy and capitalism. Show me perfection. Where is it? Assassination attempts. Where's perfection? Volcanoes erupting, wars and rumors. Show me perfection on this earth. There is none. We strive for it. We push for it. We that's what our hunger and our drive and our determination is to do better than we were yesterday. But imperfection is life. In fact, people resonate with imperfection. Imperfection is the cheat code. Don't make it so polished that people can't see themselves in the content. You know, Some people have been watching me long enough to remember that I had a little C920 webcam that fell over one of my live streams. And there's video footage of me still somewhere on YouTube reaching down and grabbing that webcam and putting it back up on the desk and adjusting it and continuing with my live show. That video, people messaged me and was like, oh man, if that happened to me, I would die. I would literally curl up on the ground and die. If that happened to me live, I would die. I was like, no, there's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing. Imperfection is life. This is a live stream. What does that mean? It's not going to be polished. I don't get to edit it. You're watching it as I'm doing it. And so when I switch to the background shot, you see my mess. You see my room. You see that I have on shorts. You see that there's headphones are coming around the back of my head. It's alive. It's live. I don't know what's going on with this camera up here. When I switch to the top down shot, you see the desk. You know, you see the phones, you see my water bottle, my glasses over here. See some of the wires on the floor. I could zoom it in so that you don't see all of that. I could just focus in on one thing. But the point is, it's live. It's not meant to be Hollywood. It's meant to be live. Live content is what people resonate with more than anything else. I can't fake it for an hour-long live stream. I can put on the charm and the smile and be like, hey guys, my name is Kirk Nugent, Geek Speaker Preacher. Thank you so much for watching my channel today. I can do that for take after take after take after take when I'm editing. But when I'm live, we come on here and be like, yo, man, I just barely made it, y'all. I just barely made it. I'm coming in from a long, production meeting. It's been rough. When it's live, it's live. When it's live, we ain't gonna fake that thing. Let me see what we got, man. Tommy Stiggs is exactly when a content creator tries too hard to be perfect, it doesn't flow so well because the audience can feel it and they may not be able to settle in. I appreciate you coming on these shows. Are excellent. Great work. That's funny. I just introduced a second cam to my live last night. They loved it. Oh yeah. Listen, I'm in today's show. We're gonna give you a full tour. Trying to drink more water. And today I'm going to give you a full tour. We're going to switch. In fact, how many people on there? We got 10 people on there. Let me see what we got. There we go. Okay. Let's put that in. Let's get that on. All right. Let's go here. Uh-oh. Did I mess something up? I hope not. Okay. No. Looks like we're still live. All right, good. Let me go into here and let's give you a quick tour. This is just for those who are here with us right now. Mobile. All right. So this is the desk. So I've got a LED panel. That's a Godox light up there. Also have a A6000 camera. That is the Sony A6000 camera right there. So that's my top down shot and it's on an arm. It's on a little arm right there. This is a Boya. I do not like this mic, so I don't recommend it, but this is a Boya shotgun mic. The concept is really more so what I'm after. I hope that makes sense to you guys, but the concept is that I want a shotgun mic right here. I can't afford the Sennheiser, but that's the one I want, so I'm just going to hold out until I can afford it. Maybe one of my community members will be gracious and decide to drop $600-700 on me, and I can do that. This is the Godox SL60W, the newer octagon softbox with the egg crate diffuser. That's what this is. It's on a C stand, and I love it. I absolutely love it. That's what's up in the air. Let me also go a little bit higher. There is a ceiling fan. And the ceiling fan has 3 light bulbs in it. One of them is just a regular yellow light. The other has the, this is how it all works, purple. They're RGB lights. And so I just kind of set them to that. In front of me is a whole big window. Now, normally I do have the blackout curtains drawn. I have those blinds going up. So I literally have the room completely blacked out. Off to the side here is another lamp with the Edison bulb. This is a dimmable Philips Hue bulb, and I have it dimmed, but this lamp shines on me and gives me some of my color back. For people of color, this is critical. This is just critical. I have some reference monitors. These are Edifier reference monitors. These are what I use to when I'm editing, to listen back to the tracks to make sure everything's balanced. This is a E020 arm that has the base at the bottom for a laptop. I just kind of use it to hold some things. I can clear off my desk a little bit, but then it also has the mount. It has a mount for a monitor, and I just have a very inexpensive Scepter monitor on here that used to be on the desk behind me. I'm going to show you that in a second. Next to it is the Elgato prompter, I should say. Now, for some reason it turned off. I have no idea why. Like literally just before we went live, it turned off, and I don't know exactly why, and I didn't bother to take the time to figure out why it's doing that. But this is the Elgato teleprompter right here in front of me. And so that's where I'm looking. That's the camera that I'm looking at. And many times I have a picture of myself on there. So I'm actually looking at what I look like. And other times I actually have my notes. My notes sit on this screen. And so my notes are there. I'm able to look at the camera and deliver my notes. So that's pretty dope as well. There's a little bookcase behind here. It's just, in moving the studio around every now and again, I just didn't know where to put it, so I put it there. It does the job. I got a TV in the studio here. Sometimes I'll put some things, different things up on that. I can see it while I'm looking at the camera. On the desk is a keyboard, the Stream Deck, of course the Magic Mouse from Apple. Then you have the Mac Mini M1. That's the 16 gig. There's this LG monitor there. That's my primary monitor. And you can see Ecamm is rolling on that right now. So that's where that is. Then there's the old school Rodecaster Pro, the first edition. I have the second edition. I just don't see any reason to use it here in the home studio. So I have this here. This is also a E020 arm that I'm using, and it does the job. So this tray that the Rodecaster Pro is on really is supposed to be for a laptop, but it fits the Rodecaster Pro almost perfectly, almost like it was made for it. So I love that. I showed you the stuff that's above already. I did want to show that here in the, I don't know, you can't see that, but this is a sit stand desk. So I can raise the desk if I want to. So that's been really cool. On the other side now, I want to show you my other desk. All right. And so at this desk, we have a little holder for my phone. We got 2 LED panel lights, one there, one on the other side. So they're both flanking the laptop, which is in the middle. And then the teleprompter, which has this ZVE10 camera on it with a 16mm lens. That is the Glide Gear TMP 100. Up until this past Sunday, this was rearranged. So this was my primary teleprompter, and my primary camera was all on this rig. I've moved them over here to my secondary desk where I do a lot of my Zoom meetings and different things, because I did want to kind of incorporate the Elgato teleprompter into my main setup. I'm not going to be planning on moving that anymore, so that's where that is. So you kind of have a feel for what this desk looks like. I have a OWC dock, so everything is plugged into the dock, and then there's just one cable that plugs into the laptop. I do take that laptop with me when I'm moving around, when I go to work and different things, to go to church. I go with that laptop. So this is the OWC dock. Again, everything plugs into it. This is the A10 Mini Pro. not ISO, but just ATEM Mini Pro. I love it. I use it when I have connected up a number of other cameras. You can see that there's some more equipment back there, just a little, not much, just a little, but you're seeing it a lot clearer than you normally would see it in my videos. But this is what's behind me all the time in my videos. Also on the desk is a smaller Stream Deck. I have the 30 key Stream Deck over on this other side. Then I have my tried and true audio interface. This is a M Audio Air 1924. This was the first one that I grabbed when I first started doing content. This is actually part of my mobile rig, but I took it off because my wife's going to use it today. So I just took it off and put it here. And then I have a tripod for the mobile rig. So I have this rig that my phone sits inside of, both phones sit inside of. And another day, I'm going to actually show you what that rig looks like. But if you've been following me here on YouTube, I actually put up a picture of what that rig looks like. On the wall is just kind of my wall of fame. Again, this is one of those things where you just want to have your own personal touch. I can't tell you how many times I do studio consultations and I'm asking the client, what are you going to put in there that screams your name? Right? My kids, my family got me this street sign that says How It All Works Way for my birthday a year or so back. And so I definitely love that and love having it in the studio, but I've been trying to figure out a way to get it into the shot. But I do have, different people that I've met while in the IT industry, different moments that I've captured from public speaking and different things. People that I've been very excited to have met and people who have inspired me. I put them on the wall. This whole bookcase behind here, it's a DeWalt bookcase. It's DeWalt storage case. I don't know, really, it's more for like a garage type setup. You're supposed to put like tubs on it, but I just love the yellow, especially for my brand, It's like one of the sub colors of my brand is yellow. And so I was like, okay, that's a dope color. Let me grab that, put some color lights on the back of it. And then that's my backdrop. So every box that I have, I just, I try my best not to tear them up and I use them in the backdrop. And this really does bode well for when I'm doing my live shopping stuff, which I'm going to be doing a lot more of pretty soon. You see that webcam in the middle right there? That is my behind the scenes shot. So when I switched to that BTS shot a second ago, that is the camera that I switched to. And that's it. Lastly, I'm going to come around. I'm going to try and do this slowly so you guys don't get seasick. Coming around slowly. Lastly, on this side of the studio, there is a couch. And this is if you've ever seen my show that I do with my wife, the Incubator's Couch, this is where we do that show. It's really right here. We just pull it off of the wall a little bit, put a light on the ground behind us. And yeah, this is where we do that show. Got some soundproofing on the wall that are a bit crooked. Got another bookcase with some other things on there. All of this is in the shot, including that little desk right there. But me and the wife sit right here, and we do our interviews right here as well. So this studio, this bedroom, the second floor of our home, gives me 1, 2, 3 different unique sets that I can utilize for content. In one bedroom, you can get 3 different unique sets, and that is what I love. So I hope that was meaningful for you. I see some of you are saying great setup. I promised that I would showcase some of what we got going on, and that's it. Any questions? Any questions? We've been live for a little bit now. So any questions that you want to share with me? Let me see here. Let me see if I can get rid of that camera. All right, cool. Now I'm just disconnecting the phone from the computer so that it's not continuing to drain the battery. Any questions for me? I see several of you. Stretford Sue is here. Is everybody watching? Long time no see. What's going on, Stretford? Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Always appreciate your presence. I'm looking back at some of the other comments that I may have missed earlier. There's O'Kane says, always be your genuine, authentic self. Your experience and story is unique. I love that. People are watch time hour 21.5. Holda says smash the like button. Micah Flemings shares that he just got 85 subscribers. That's cool. We are all content creators. If you've ever delivered a message, organized an event, or answered a question, you created content. Listen, if you've ever cooked a meal, listen, if you've ever delivered work product, you are a content creator. I love that. I love that. Raven Yolanda says that is so liberating. Thank you. I'm so glad that we had this time. I'm glad that we were able to share some of these pieces with you. Tatiana is with us today. Hey folks, catching the tail end. Listen, I'm so glad that you were able to come through and hang out. It's always a pleasure. Tommy says, great setup. Bashar, Doc Bashar says, peace. Ibrahim says, what up, people? I love it. I love it. No, sir. Don't have any questions. Micah says, no questions. All right, cool. No worries. I'm happy to share some of the things that I use in my studio to get the look that I have. And I'm glad that we're able to share some of those with you as well. Okay. Take off the vertical safe zones. Hey, David Hunt is with us on the live. Thank you so much for being with us. David Hunt, always love when the moderators come through. David says, I got the Edifier speakers recently and I can't seem to get it going. Is there anything special I should be doing? When you say you can't get it going, what are you using it? How are you connecting it? Are you using it with I'm interested in hearing a little more on that one, David. Because I just have it plugged into the Rodecaster Pro. Sorry, I just have it plugged into the Rodecaster Pro. I've got the two 1/4 inch cables going from the Rodecaster Pro into the main speaker. That main speaker is connected to the satellite one using speaker wire. That's pretty much it. There's nothing too special there. I'm not using it as Bluetooth. I don't know if you're using it as Bluetooth. It does have Bluetooth. I've just never paired it with my phone or anything like that because I've got it literally plugged in to my computer. So it's my primary set of speakers. Though I do also have the Rodecaster Pro set up to where as long as my mic is unmuted, then the speakers cannot be heard. Like it automatically turns off the speakers. So I have to then plug into headphones to be able to listen if my mic is unmuted. Now, if I have all the mics muted, then music plays through the speakers and it plays really loud. So I don't know, man. Talk to me a little bit more about what you got going on there. I would love to be able to kind of get you across the line. All right. Any questions, man? Listen, now you can ask me questions about content creation. You can ask me questions about live streaming, about StreamYard, EVMux, Ecamm. You can ask me questions about getting started, about maintaining, about not quitting. You can ask me questions about having a guest on your show or guesting on someone else. You can ask me questions about design, setup. You can ask me questions about anything, thumbnails, descriptions, analytics. Ask me questions. We've got about 20 minutes left in the live show. Ask questions. David Hunt says it's with the USB dock. Don't do that. Plug it directly into the Rodecaster Pro. I never know what those USB docks do in terms of audio, and it's just a weak way of I'd rather plug your speakers into the computer than to plug them into the dock. No. And I know that plugging them into the dock doesn't make sense because plugging them into the dock means especially if it's a laptop, you have to plug it in and out every single time. That's why I would much rather set it up with the Rodecaster Pro. Because the other thing is, even if the computer's off, I want to be able to play music on the Rodecaster Pro into the speakers, right? I've got stuff set up on these pads right here, and then I can just play those, and it plays on the mute and plays on the speakers while I'm doing some other things. The computer's off. I've got monitors hanging from the ceiling and whatnot. Yeah, when I was redoing the studio on Sunday, it was a mess in here. I really should have recorded that so you could kind of see what it looks like now. But yeah, I thank you for that. I thank you for that question. What aperture do you have your camera set to? Oh, come on, Tatiana. I like that. Trying to drink more water. It doesn't always work. Aperture. This camera. So I really should just be able to spit that out to you really quickly, because I am in manual mode. But this particular camera, the A6400, this one, just this one, I'm not saying all 6400s, I'm just saying mine, it does some weird things. It does some weird things. And I'm constantly fighting against it to almost force it to give me the picture that I want it to give me. So it's difficult for me to answer right off on this one. On that one, I'd be able to just tell you, oh, boom, these are the settings. I can give you those because I have it all set. But that one didn't give me it doesn't give me the picture I want either. So anyway, let me come back to your question. What aperture do you have your camera set to? Let me walk around to it and see. What is it set to currently? Because it has a tendency, even on manual, to just kind of, gotta go up and down. I don't know if you know, sometimes you'll see it breathing, because I don't always have the blinds open. Because I don't always have the blinds open, I generally don't have sunlight coming in, and the sun, passing clouds, stuff like that can change your lighting profile in your room. But for today in particular, I just decided I wanted a little bit of a more brighter look and feel, so I decided I'll leave it up. But yeah, this I believe is set to f1.4. That's what I believe it's set to, but let me go back around there and check. It's f1.8. f1.8. So hopefully that answers it. Thank you so much for the question, Tatiana. And for those that are not familiar with aperture, it's the light. It's the opening of the lens. Controls how much light enters the camera and hits the image sensor. So that's what the aperture is, and so I've got it set to f1.8, not 1.4. Even though that's what I set it to when I first went live, it's set to f1.8 right now. David Hunt says, water bottle. I see you're getting ready for the Olympics. Man, listen, you just got to know where home is. You got to be able to rep your crew. All right. There you go. All right. Quick Institute is reminding everybody to hit that like button. We want to say a word of thanks to the 15 of you that have hit the like button already. Thank you so much. Tommy says, what is your opinion on growth of a channel? Long form video or live? I enjoy going live. I love the interaction. Here's my opinion. Are you ready? I think live video is at the top of the content creation pyramid. You can get every piece of every other type of content from live, but you cannot get live from any other piece of content. If you want to get a 5 to 7 minute video, you can clip that out of a live show. If you want to get a podcast, you can pull the audio from a live show. If you want a quote meme, you want a short and a reel, you can do all of that from a live show. And if you design your live show to deliver all of that content, it's even more exponential. Now, let me say this. This is an overarching principle that I've known for saying. Maybe you haven't heard me say it before. I'm glad that you asked this question because it allows me to juxtapose the two. Right? Here's the overarching principle. Your live stream is the continuation of a conversation you started with your content. Let me repeat. Your live stream is the continuation of a conversation you started with your content. Okay. So I put out a video on how to create a background in Canva for your live stream. I put out that video. I walk people through the process. They're able to consume the video. They are asking questions below. I go live. I answer those questions because my live stream is a continuation of a conversation I started with the content. Now, a live stream and a live show are not the same thing. Your live show is a show. So treat it like a show. It's going to be at a certain time. It's going to be at a certain day. And it's not going to be, let's say, community-based content where you're just kind of having a Q&A like we're doing right now. A show means maybe you have a guest, maybe you don't. You have a topic, you have something that you're going to deliver. You've made a verbal contract with your audience in terms of this is when the show is, this is what the show is going to be about. A show is different than a live stream. But even the show still continues a conversation that you have started with another piece of content somewhere, whether it was from a previous show episode or an actual produced piece of content. Now, many people say, I thought you were the live guy. How can you say that your live stream is a continuation of a conversation you started with content when most of us that follow you, we've never done a produced piece of content. We only do live, and herein lies the fault. That's a mistake, because live streaming is long form. Long form is really appeals to community, those who already know, like, and trust you. So you're not gonna be discoverable just off of live streams or live shows. Discovery happens in shorts, in reels, 3 to 5 minute videos, 5 to 7 minute videos, 7 to 15 minute videos, and longer. When those produced videos hit and the algorithm picks it up and it puts it in front of the right people, and they're searching for exactly what you're providing right at the right time, they're just like, oh, boom, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Who's this lady? I've never heard this person before. The strategy to grow a channel requires all of the above. It requires discoverability. It requires being picked up by the algorithm and being suggested. It requires you kind of introducing who you are. And when we are continuing in an episodic form of a live show, or you going live for your audience in a live stream, there's just this sense of, you already know me, so I don't need to introduce myself, because that's community-based content. And to be clear, there are people who will discover you in your produced content, in your discoverable content, and they will come into your live stream and recognize that there's a community here and they'll want to join. So I'm not saying you should change your way your live stream goes or the way your live show goes. You just want to add to your overarching strategy the benefits, right, of discovery content, trending content, content that allows your videos to be placed in front of people that have never heard of you before. Billions of channels on YouTube. Billions. I'm going to say that again. I want it to click. Billions. Even more viewers than there are channels. Some 10% of those channels are actually monetized, and an even smaller percentage have ever crossed 10,000 subscribers. Why is that? That is because we're not being consistent, number one. Number two, not really understanding the different buckets. Marketing is the third bucket that I didn't touch on, but the first one is discovery, second one is community, third one is marketing. Those are your buckets of content. Not really adhering to the rules, right? When you go to google.com, does anybody have to tell you what to do? No, because there's just one line there with a blinking cursor and it's white, and there's no instructions, and you just have to type in what you want to find out. And pray tell, what is the format that you will put in that cursor? What do you put into google.com? You put your search query in, even inherent in what I'm saying, query is a question, but you put your search in, even search is a question. You put your search in the form of a question. And so your content needs to answer a question. Be consistent. And it needs to be vulnerable. That's what we talked about before, Tommy. Being your authentic self, not being perfect, but being you. And people will resonate with that. To me, that is a metric and a matrix for success. I hope that is meaningful for you. All right. Priscilla says, I'm just starting to set up one of my rooms for filming. What is the best wall paint for lighting while filming? Studio Gray. Studio Gray. It's not called Studio Gray because that's, you know, some cutesy term. It's actually called studio gray because that's the term. That's actually what it's called. It's called studio gray. It's studio gray. Studio gray is what I prefer. If you can't do studio gray, then throw some black in there. But I will say this, that wall behind me is not blue. That wall behind me is gray. And the reason why you can't tell is because gray takes color on so well. It takes the color on and it kind of has its own attribute for itself. I mean, if you look at the top part, you can tell that it's gray. And the reason for that is because I have the windows open and it's a much more brighter lighting profile for today's stream. But I hope that helps you. Studio gray is what I would recommend, but it also depends on what you're going for your channel. A lot of people like to kind of maintain the white. There's a lot of people who are just doing the white walls and the bright look for their content. Other people are doing these wood accents that they add to the wall itself, which is great. I mean, none of these are wrong. But if I'm to answer your question without any other context, I would say, studio gray or black, one of the two. Oh, she says, nice, thanks, Kirk. My guess for your aperture was 2.0. You're not off. It was 1.8. You're not off. Hey, moderator salute. Where's my moderator salute? Moderator salute. Thank you so much for coming through today. Always appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Demolition News, live for community, short form for reach, long form for deep impact, in my opinion. Your opinion is correct. Live for community, short form for reach, and by reach what he means is discoverability. Allows your content to be picked up by the algorithm and allows you to get in front of. Listen, short form on YouTube, like those YouTube shorts, that's not going to your subscriber base. That's going into the algorithm. That goes to people are seeing those from the four corners of the earth. So you want to have reach. You want to make sure you're taking advantage of short form. Long form for deep impact. Deep impact. And by long form, I think he's talking about somewhere around 20 minutes or even less. But thank you for that. Excellent insight. Great answer. Thank you. My absolute pleasure. So many videos to make, can feel overwhelming. Tatiana, so here's the thing, man. I recently had this conversation with somebody. I know you didn't put this in the form of a question, but your sentiment is shared widely. Now, there is a whole other side of this conversation where folks are like, I don't know what video to make. My content calendar is blank. I don't know what to do. I got a video to put out next week. I don't know what video to create. So there is the other side of it. But when you begin to really look at your life, when you begin to really look at who it is you want to serve and understand them better than they understand themselves and know exactly what value you want to deposit into them, you begin to recognize and see content everywhere. And this is a blessing and a curse. You begin to see content. It was like, oh my goodness, I need to make that video too. Oh, I got to do that video. Oh, that's a great video to do. For me, I like to do my videos in series. I like to batch record them. I like to sit down and knock out 6, 7, maybe even 10 videos in a time and throw those over to the video editor. Not everybody has a video editor, but even if you're editing yourself, having those videos and being able to edit them episodically, that really does help to, take the bigness of it, the overwhelmingness of it down some. Because I'm just doing this block right now, and I've got another block scheduled for another couple of weeks. I got another block scheduled for another couple of weeks. And, especially as you string them together, they become bingeable sessions of content, even though each one has its own particular, piece of value that you want to provide. It becomes a series. Even I don't necessarily label it as a series. I'm just walking people through. And because I know that the topics are related, I can actually throw from one to the next. Well, man, thank you so much for watching this one. But how we talked about this and this and this in this video, but check out this video right here to be able to learn how to do this, this, and this, and this. Boom. Hit the finish button, hit the record button, record the next one as well. like before I used to actually change t-shirts. Nah, I don't even do that anymore. I just record my series as I see fit. Ain't nobody watching them in order. And if somebody does, they'll know that I recorded them all together. But I think that's a great place to be in, when you know that there's a lot of videos that you can create. It's just a matter of kind of centering, really focusing in on your target audience and your value proposition, and creating the best next video. I hope that that's helpful. Tommy Stig says, I'm assuming the best way to kill a channel is being inconsistent. Yeah. So yes, the answer to your question, the answer to your comment is yes. But inconsistency doesn't necessarily mean, okay, inconsistent has a broad meaning. Let me put it that way. So yes, and the original traditional definition of inconsistent is going to be, I put a video out here, there, every month I put out, or it's just so haphazard. I don't even know when my next video is going to be done. If you have been consistent for a year, 2 years, 3 years, you can have stints where you go without putting out a video. Like I took a whole month off. I think, was it June or maybe May? I took the whole month off. I didn't put out any produced videos. I still did a couple of live streams, but I took the whole month off. No big deal. Why? Because I have been consistent for several years and I planned my break in. So these are some of the things that you can do when you have consistency. Now, let me say this. The consistency thing also, I'm coming to your question, Tatiana. The consistency thing also pertains to your topic. I had a client do their channel is about web design, and they have a really dope studio. Like this guy has a really dope studio. And so he decided, I'm going to do a quick video on my studio because I just got this new chair for my home studio. So he did that video. That video went viral. Not mini viral, not viral for him. That video went viral. Like we're talking hundreds of thousands of views. It literally took him from, I think he had like 260 subscribers to 7,000 subscribers in the matter of 2 weeks. Now, some of you are like, oh, that's so dope. It's not dope for him, because everybody wants another studio video. Everybody wants another studio review. They do not want web design content. And so in his case, he had to start over. He killed his channel because he was inconsistent. Why? Because he put a review up that had nothing to do with what he was trying to do on his channel, and that joint went viral. Viral in every other circle other than content is not good. So hopefully that analogy that gives you some context there in terms of what you've asked. Yes, inconsistency kills channels. What were the 3 buckets? Discovery. I think Demolition News called it reach, but discovery, reach, whatever. That's the first one. And for many of my coaching clients, especially as they get started, especially if they're within their first year, you're going to be heavy discovery content. In every video, you treat these people as if they've never seen you before. So you're not saying anything that's inside jokes or terms. How I like to say stuff like, the Central Time Zone is the Lord's time zone, and I just keep it moving. Everybody kind of knows what that means now, but in my discovery content, I don't do that kind of thing. Don't use, acronyms. I don't try to alienate, because it's discovery content. Discovery content. I want people to come into my ecosystem. Now, I'm not doing a whole lot of advertising who I am either. Maybe just in little things and little stories as I share, as it's pertaining to the value of the content that I'm sharing. So you have discovery or reach, then you have community. That's the second bucket. Community is almost squarely live streams where you're doing AMAs or You go live because somebody asked a question and you're like, yo, I'm going to go live on such and such a day. Why don't you come back to the live, or make sure you catch the replay because I'm going to respond directly to your question. The live stream, the community piece, especially when you're live streaming, it really galvanizes a community around what you're doing. Live streaming, your live stream, that's what live streaming does. It galvanizes your community. So community, that's the second one. There are other types of community content that are not live stream, but the purpose of the community content is to feed your community, is to build on the rapport that you've already had with them, is to further make a deposit into that know, like, and trust factor, to essentially get them to the place where they become super fans. And you don't need a whole lot of super fans. I've got 9,000 subscribers. I only need maybe 200 to 300 super fans. It's a personal number. It's 200 to 300. But really, most people only need like about 100, because the next bucket is marketing. The third bucket is marketing content. And if you follow the three buckets, they're not just the three buckets. They're actually in the order of how you should do them. Marketing content that's, maybe it's for a brand. Maybe you got a brand deal. Maybe it's for your course. Maybe it's for your offer, whatever that might be. Maybe you design websites. In your case, Tatiana, you're a teacher. Maybe you teach teachers and you have a masterclass. Your marketing content is its own bucket. Now, it still has value. It still follows the rules of content creation, but you are heavy on the fact that I've got to ask. I've got to ask, guys. I definitely have an ask today. And so those are your three buckets. Hopefully that is helpful to you. Yeah. Yes, it's work. Thanks, Tommy. Let's see here. Let's see, let me keep going here. I have a billion. Oh, Ibrahim says, is there a way I can add caption automatically, not English, to my video using AI? No. Automatically? Maybe there's a program. There's a lot of criteria you just said right there. So my initial response is, I don't know of any AI programs that will add captions. Now, when you say automatically, what do you mean? You're going to have to actually run the video through the program. Hopefully that makes sense. But automatically meaning, automatically aside for a second, non-English is really where the challenge comes in. What I will say is I use DaVinci Resolve to edit my videos, and it does a really good job of adding captions, and I can go in then and edit those captions. So maybe that may be something for you. I don't know, Descript, but I just don't know have any of them that do non-English, Ibrahim. So that's a good question. I just don't know that I had the answer for you. I have a billion ideas, Tatiana says, for content. Execution of many ideas is the issue. Series and batch recording sounds really good to me. Series and batch recording have saved me. It has saved me. Because you know what? So I'll be in the middle. Here's a prime example. I'm in the middle of a coaching series right now that I recorded. All right. I'm in the middle of it. In the middle of the series, I also recorded how I produce a live show video, and I kind of take people on the journey with me to my studio at the place that I work, and I walk them through this whole process. We dropped that video right in the middle of the coaching series, and so this coming Sunday, I'm gonna finish up the coaching series. So this is what happens is when you record a batch, then you're free to record the one-off videos here or there, and just drop them in where it makes sense, you know? And then when that video has been dropped, I continue with my batch. And then I've got another batch of videos that I've already recorded. Batch recording has saved me. I will say this, Tatiana, I actually put out a video. Recently. What is it called again here? Let's go to the watch page of my channel, howitallworks.com/watch. Maybe the moderators can put that in the chat, but I put out a video and it is called Avoid Quitting YouTube with These 3 Habits. I think that's the one. Yeah, I think that's the one. Avoid Quitting YouTube with These 3 Habits. Is that the one? I think that's the one. Let me see here. I don't know if you got a chance to watch this one. Yeah, this is the one. So definitely check out that video, Tatiana. Because I walk you through 3 specific habits, and the first habit is batch/series recording. So definitely want to make sure you get a chance to check that out, because it really has saved me, and I think it's one of those things that really helping people to not quit. When you have a batch of videos already done and ready to go, it's the ultimate cheat code. I've been consistent for 2 years, every morning live at 7 a.m. and it's grown at a decent pace. I'm going to do what you mentioned, a video and then a live about it for my evening lives. Yes, put out a video. What's your content about, Tommy Stiggs? What's your content about? What's your value proposition? Let me know. Stop it. David Hunt, stop it. Shame on you. Stop it. Stop it. Tatiana says, thank you, Kirk. Thanks, Kirk, for your help today. Tommy Stiggs, Social Club. I knew I wasn't the only one. Come on. And I love when you ask that stuff. It's just so dope. So this is the page right here, Tatiana, and it's literally the 4th video on that page. So it says, I'm not quitting YouTube. The 4th video on that page, howitallworks.com/watch. Just hit that up and take a view, take a listen to it. I walk through 3 different habits to develop, and the first one I think is really dope. But Tommy Stiggs, I would recommend you hit that one up as well. This whole series that I've been in right now is really all of the 8 questions that I'm responding to are things that my coaching clients have asked me. And this final video that's going to come out this coming Sunday, it's called The One Question I Ask Every Coaching Client. That's the title of it. This is the one question every coaching client gets asked. This one question. And I think that's going to be wildly beneficial for you as well. Miss Virtue is with us today. Says, hey, Kirk, I really enjoy your videos. Do you happen to have a series already on your channel for customizing on-screen chat comments? I don't, but Miss Virtue, can you share with me what platform you're using? Are you using Ecamm? I hope you're going to say yes. If you're going to say yes, then I may be able to find a couple of videos for you. But that is something that I'm going to add to my content list right now, that just because you asked it. I think it's a dope idea that I need to definitely look into. Tatiana says, I will check, Kirk. I will check. Thank you so much. But yeah, Miss Virtue, if you are still with us, let me know. Hopefully you are using Ecamm. If you're not using Ecamm, I want to say this. It's very limited for your web-based streaming applications. So EVMux, Restream, StreamYard, several others. They are very limited in how much you can tweak your comments and how they look. So just keep that in mind. You still can tweak them, but it becomes a little more, there's a lot more limitations. With Ecamm, it's the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. Great idea, Miss Virtue. I love that. I hope that she's still here, and hopefully you are using Ecamm. Now, I'm over my time, which is, she says no, StreamYard, but I can check out Ecamm. Okay, so StreamYard, StreamYard. Let's just take a peek real quick, Miss Virtue, because you're here and you asked, and I'm already over my time anyway, so might as well just stay a little longer, right? So let's take a look at your stream boom. Okay, you can still hear me? Yes, you can. EVMux is the most versatile of the bunch of web-based platforms. Yes. I don't know how many of you are aware, but Riverside FM has just quietly rounded out their whole content creation platform, and they now are doing live streaming, multi-streaming, and comments. all in their web-based studio. And there's an installed version of Riverside that you can download and install on your computer. It's crazy. All right. More on that later. Thank you, Micah, for the reminder to like and subscribe. All right. So here we are on the desktop. Oh, I love this. I have not done a share screen with this new setup. Now that I have 2 monitors, it's so dope. It's so dope. I don't know how I was doing this before with just the 1 monitor. That was really difficult. So anyway, here we are. I'm going to go into a test room. And what up? I'm going to get in there. Let's get in there. Enter. And so this is a client project that I did. So the brand is Birthright Africa. That's the client's project. Let me go to my default so that it's just kind of there. All right. So put myself on the screen. What up? Now you can see me in doubled. You can see me doubled. And so here are your comments. And so these are your, this is a sample comment that's in the system. I'm going to put that in there. And so now that comment is on screen. So you just have some of the things that you can do to change the comment is you go to the brand tab, right? So now I have the comment on the screen. I'm just going to go to brand, right here where it says brand. Boom, we go to brand, and now I can change my brand color, and my brand color will change the color at the top here, right? I can change it from classic to minimal to block. These are the customizations you can do with your comments in StreamYard. So that's it. And listen, I want to say this, that's pretty cool. There's still a lot of flexibility in what you could do with these just as they are, but that's it though. You can change the brand color and you can choose your theme. So you have theme here and you have brand color. Those will change up your comment, and I hope that that's meaningful for you. Yeah, definitely. That's, as I mentioned, it is limited when you are looking at it from from a web-based streaming platform perspective. They just don't have a lot of the functionality to be able to allow for some of the flexibility there. Let me say this, Miss Virtue, are you using a Mac? If you're using a Mac, then I would definitely recommend. Actually, let me back up a little bit. You're using StreamYard and you're getting the job done with StreamYard. StreamYard's a great platform. So if this is the only issue you have, this is, in my opinion, a relatively small one in terms of being able to change your comments. So those are the ways that you would modify them. That is somewhat limited, but if you want more, then let us know and we can help to guide you through to some of those other platforms, because sometimes you want more. Sometimes you want more. Let's see what we got here. Demolition News has got a great comment here. Just a small aside. After 780 live stream shows, I have just added a new section at the end in which I look at and discuss industry news. This gives me additional short form clips. I'm going to tell you right now, Demolition, that's what I tell people is designing your live stream. The intentionality behind the way you design the live stream is how you end up with multiple pieces of content. It's the intentionality and the way you've designed your live show to be able to have that segment where you're talking about industry news now enables you to have yet even more content. And that's because you were intentional. That's because you were intentional. I love that. I love that. Miss Virtue says I'm on a PC. So Ecamm is for Mac only. So that is a limitation for the Ecamm. So that's we just gotta walk through those things. That's the reason why I asked the question. But PC, there's some really dope streaming platforms that work cross-platform, PC or Mac. And as you see, I'm on a Mac and StreamYard works on it. Sorry guys. Oh, that's good. Got to drink more water. Everybody, drink more water. All right. I think that's it, y'all. Was there anything else I was gonna do? We gave you a tour of the studio. That was what I was gonna do. Okay. Let's go back to next scene here. So this is my website, howitallworks.com. This is my show website. And so this is the video that I was talking about, how I produce a live show. If you've seen this video, if you've already watched it, I would love your feedback, because again, this is me trying out a new vertical, a new type of content. Now, it is a little longer than I was hoping for, but it is a different type of content where I'm actually showing you a project that I worked on. And again, this has opened up the door for significant discoverability. I mean, there are people watching this video that have never seen my channel before. And so setting that up and creating a stage for it so that it achieves the goals for which I want it is really cool. But I want to ask you, my audience, if you've gotten a chance to see this video, then did you like it? Is this the kind of video that you want to see more of? I would love to be able to share that. This is supposed to be today's video, right? The video that I'm in right now. Join us for the Coaching Corner on Wednesdays. And then this is the morning motivation that dropped today. I'm always interested to see. Yeah. I don't know why it always adds it to the bottom. I don't know. Let me sort by. Oh, I got it's sorted by most popular. So let me not mess with this. If I do date published, then it does sort it properly. These are all my morning motivation. 26 episodes so far. But I'm gonna actually change that sort back to most popular, because that's how I have it set on the YouTube page. All right, but anyway, so there's that, and then there's this, the actual podcast on Spotify. It's pretty dope. So all that stuff is on the page. If you're interested, definitely go ahead and check it out. Shorts, I've got a ton of shorts, so would love for you to be able to check out some of those shorts. All of those things are on the show page. Shorts, Spotify, YouTube playlist for morning motivation. Same thing for the Why I Go Live podcast. There's the one. There's the other. And again, this is sorted by most popular. And then Why I Go Live podcast, they're sequential. So we're good to go. But yeah, would love to hear your thoughts on some of those pieces. Let me see what David's talking about now. So David said, I just finished 60 ounces of water today. Oh, that's awesome. He says he's got 60 more to go. Miss Virtue, many of my PC friends use OBS. It is powerful, but also has a strong learning curve, in my opinion. I totally agree with you, Tatiana. Yes, I've played around with OBS, but I found StreamYard a little easier on PC. Absolutely. You could not be more correct. Thank you for the suggestion, Miss Virtue. Thank you for engaging with us today. All right, I want to get out of your way. 17 likes, 11 of you guys still hanging with me on the live today. I can't thank you enough for your time, your attention, for coming to the show today. This was awesome. We got a chance to really touch on a number of things, and hoping that we got you across the line, hoping that you got a chance to peek behind the veil a little bit, hoping that you got your questions answered. Really hope that there are no question marks next to the value that you have to provide. We are all creators. We are all creators. And we have a sacred task to fulfill. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention today. I will see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Grace and peace, fam. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out today. Hopefully, if you are watching this, you made it this far in the video, check out one of these in the playlist right here, or make sure you hit that subscribe button. Later.